In my research on what decolonization meant, one of the things I read somebody say was to speak up when you know something isn't right. I'm Phyllis Webstad. I'm Shewepmach or Shuswap from the interior of BC, just outside of Williams Lake.
Tell me a little bit about why it was so important for you to do this book.
I felt it was part of my responsibility as an Indigenous person to just to speak up about denialism and how harmful it is and how hurtful it is for families, because there's people alive today that have brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles that didn't come home. And when these deniers are saying things like, you know, where's the bodies and why aren't you digging them up? And there's a lot more to the story than they'll ever know. And I know one person, Charlene Beaulieu from Alkali Lake or the Esquette band outside of Williams Lake. She has an uncle that's missing, and she wants to bring him home. And what she says to deniers is, come and help me. We're just at the starting gate of the missing children and unmarked burials, dealing with that as Indigenous people, and yet we're expected to be at the finish line. The story's this long. This is the truth here. And what they understand is this much, maybe half or a little bit more. And so the rest is made up. What somebody told them, what they heard, this must be the case. So with this book, it's an attempt to fill in that gap so that maybe their attitude and their behavior can change. It may or may not, but I had to at least try. I'm thankful everybody in my family came home, all 14 of us, but that's not the case in a lot of families. I lived with my grandmother in Khatlum or Dog Creek until I was 10. So when I turned 6 in July 1973, she brought me to town like any caregiver, parent would, to get their child ready for school. And I chose a shiny orange shirt with a collar, and it had 3 little button holes with like a shoestring lace in front. And that's the story that I told when I got to the St. Joseph Indian Residential School, where 3 generations of my family attended. My orange shirt was taken, everybody's clothes was taken, so my story is not unique.
You've been across the country, talked to many people. Have you had denialists come up to you and say things like to your face?
Never. It's what do they call them? Keyboard warriors. Yeah, I've seen it on social media and I've seen it on television. So I thought with all of these screenshots that I took on Facebook, I'm only on Facebook, and that it was bothering me that people don't get it. Some don't get it. There's a lot that do. And I have this crazy thought of being in a room of deniers. It's like, yeah. It would be listening to each other and both sides, and then trying to see what's the problem here, and how do we, because as the late Mary Sinclair said, we're all here, nobody's going away, and we need to learn to get along.
Somebody watching this interview hasn't seen the book. What's one thing you would tell them about needing to get this book?
You will need to take time, be in the right headspace, and approaching it with an open mind and an open heart. I've been on my healing journey since 1994 when I was 27. I'm 58 now. And a lot of my healing journey has been looking at the past and what happened. Life can be understood backward, but must be lived forward. So looking at my history as a Shewepmach person, what happened with the coming of the smallpox, to wiping out 92% of our people along the Fraser River, being put onto reserves, being sent to residential schools. It's like it's apocalyptic. And then you have the 60s scoop, and then now the taking of children, and it hasn't ended yet, the genocide in Canada. In writing a book, you get immersed, and that's all you think about. You eat, breathe, and like live the subject. And I came upon a lot of people doing great work in this area of decolonization. And so basically our whole society needs to be decolonized, from our government to our education system, our healthcare system. Like, we just barely touch the surface of what decolonization means and the work that's to be done.